Good morning and welcome to another episode of Tristan Take Video. It's Thursday morning and I couldn't sleep last night and I woke up quite early this morning, so I thought I'd do something that I haven't done for quite a long time, and that is go for a sunrise ride in my favourite place on earth. Summertime, it's mid-July, I've just come back from a massive few weeks of work, and I don't know about you guys, but every time I come back from a big project like the one I just got back from in France, I lose a whole bunch of motivation and I feel uncreative and just a bit run down. So I've been back in Girona since the big project with Jack, which you'll see a video on soon. And then I was in Paris and I watched the end of the Tour de France and watched Ben roll in, and that was all amazing. But then I got back to Girona and I just felt kind of like I needed a prolonged period of decompression, and so I haven't made as many videos as I would have liked to have made, but I'm out for a ride today and I'm taking you guys along for the ride. One thing I want to say before I go any further as well is a massive welcome to everyone who subscribed to the channel since I put out the last video with Ben. That video had more views than I ever expected it to, and I went up a whole bunch of subscribers as a result. So a massive thank you to everyone who subscribed. And if you haven't yet subscribed, definitely just pause right now and jump down and hit a little subscribe down there if you want to, because it'd be cool to have you on board for this journey. This channel's gone way further in 6 months than I expected it to, and I'm really looking forward to seeing where I can take it over the next 6 months to 12 months to 18 months. So what am I up to today? Well, being Thursday, being sunrise, I'm just going for a really nice cruise. The loop I'm going to do this morning is called a reverse Hincapi loop. So I head out of Girona, head down on some farm roads down to Casa de la Selva, head over Santa Pelea, up towards the back of Elves, head over Elves and back to Girona. So it's funny, you know, rolling out here at sunrise. It's not something I do a huge amount of, a bit stupidly, because the sunrise riding is so nice. The light's totally different. It's so quiet out on the roads, on the already quiet roads, and the day is waking up, and it's just a beautiful time to be out riding a bike. If you don't ride at sunrise much, I definitely recommend getting up every now and then, getting out in some golden light like this to do a little cruise around wherever you live. Something that I talk about a lot when I go riding with people is how much I love living in a place where you get to watch the landscape change all the time. So right now it's summer, you've got the wheat fields, you get this beautiful golden light, you get these beautiful golden wheels of wheat, and then as it comes into autumn, things start to go a bit dry and brown, and then you go through winter, you get the beautiful smell of firewood and it gets cold, and then you come into spring and things start to get really green and lush. You get these amazing yellow canola fields that you've seen in videos past, and then you come into summer and it gets really, really warm, and you can do things like sunrise rides in summer kit like I'm doing right now. Growing up in Sydney, in a big city, this is something I just didn't really experience. I didn't really experience being out in the countryside over the course of the year and watching the landscape change. It's been a real kind of eye-opener for me the last few years while I've been here. And every year as the seasons change, I get excited for the change. It's so nice watching the landscape shift its mood over time. So yeah, just a really nice little thing to sort of stop and observe every time I go out for a ride. So the ride that I'm doing this morning, as I mentioned before, it's called a reverse Hincapie loop. If you watched episode 14 with Kristen, this is the loop that we did going the other way. This morning, I'm doing it going over Santa Playa first, and then over Elves in an anti-clockwise direction. This climb I'm on at the moment, this is Santa Playa from Casa de la Selva. It's about 4.5 Ks, average is around 4%. So a nice steady little cruisy warm-up climb. So that is climb number 1, Santa Playa up the way. There's one thing I love about climbing Santa Playa from Casa de la Selva. It's the descent on the other side. This descent's so nice. 6 Ks, minus 4%, and just a beautiful amount of sweeping corners. So that stunning little town that I just filled my water bottle up in, that is Monell's. That's about the halfway point of the ride. Beautiful little old cobbled square there. You can sit and have a coffee. You can have a beer in the evening if you want to. And I'm now on my way to Els Angels. So the road that I'm actually on, something that's amazing, is that in the last couple of months, they've completely resurfaced this road. It was a sort of a single, small farm road for quite a long time. And then recently, they widened it out a bit. They put a really cool walking and bike path on one side of it, so you can cruise along if you're with your family or if you're on the road. It's a really nice hot mix. They love doing good roads around here, which is something I really appreciate. And yeah, so I'm on my way to Els now. Something else I also love about this ride is this view that you get as you come over the rise and you see Madremanya. I remember the first time I ever did this ride, and I was coming back this way. I was with Nick Dougal, came over the rise and saw this castle sitting on the hill there, and it was extremely Spanish or Catalan, and yeah, it was pretty stunning. So every time I come over the hill and I see that view, I'm reminded of that first week that I was in Girona back in 2017. Alrighty, so on to the second and final climb of this morning's ride. I've spoken about this one a lot. This is Elves from Madremanya. This climb is 5.5 kilometers long. On Strava it says it averages around 5.5%, but it's more like 8%. And it's got flat at the bottom and it's got a bit of flat towards the top as well. If you come from the Girona side, it's 10Ks at 3%. So this side, 5Ks, around 5 or 6%. It's kind of the climb compressed into a shorter distance. They hot mixed the road a little while ago, so it's nice and smooth, and yeah, really good to do efforts on. One of the things that I really like about being in Girona is that Girona doesn't have this big dramatic landscape. It doesn't have massive mountains right in front of you. It doesn't have huge scenic vistas everywhere. But I think what I love about Girona, what I love about mornings like this, just going for a sunrise cruise, is that the roads and the views and the scenery is quite humble, you know? It's got its own humble beauty. It's peaceful, it's tranquil. It's not overrun with cars. There are cyclists around, but it's not crazy tourist numbers like there is in the Alps or in the Pyrenees. So while those places are incredible, they look stunning, they're so picturesque, and the climbing's amazing, Girona has its own charm. It's a subtle charm. So it's just gone after 9 a.m. and I'm going to keep on cruising up this beautiful climb. For my morning, I'm going to descend down the other side and head into Girona and grab a coffee. Alrighty, and there we have it. Another day, another morning, another bike ride done. That was my sunrise ride in Girona. As I said, couldn't really sleep last night. It's pretty warm at the moment, and I woke up and I thought, what better way to use my insomnia than to go for a bike ride. So that was this morning's ride. If you want to see the ride, I will put a link to it on the description down below. It's on my Strava. Did about 69 Ks in the end, and close to 1,000 meters climbing. Went and had a little coffee there when I got back to Girona at Espresso Mafia, which is just in town. That's one of the coffee shops I haven't put on the vlog yet. I think that's my favorite coffee shop in the whole of town. Now home to start my day. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you like that, I hope you'll give it a big like. And if you want to subscribe to see more, definitely hit me with a subscribe down below. I hope you guys have a great week, and I'll talk to you soon. Adieu.